Hi, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Father Yeprem, collegian, and I am a recovering Turk-hater. Now that sounds odd coming from a priest, I know that. But you gotta know a little bit about my background. My father was an orphan of the genocide. Oh, he was a nice guy, but the genocide did horrific things to him. And every time he would look at a picture of orphans, any orphans from anywhere, he would start to cry. And he hated Turks. He could never actually say the word Turk without first saying, and excuse me please, without first saying, goddamn Turks. And so I was raised with that from childhood. Well, that Turk-hater in me, and I'm a recovering Turk-hater, that started to change a year ago. You know, well, first of all, how does it look for a priest to be a hater? And then, but secondly, the canonization of the genocide martyrs. They became saints. And it started to occur to me that at the moment they were killed, no matter how horrific their death was, at the moment they were killed, suddenly they were among the saints living in bliss. And so that started my conversion. But my absolute conversion, and I can name the time and the date. It was May 11th, 2016, when I became totally converted. And that I was doing a little Bible study at a United Church of Christ church. And of course, on their calendar, on the United Church of Christ, UCC Church, and also the Presbyterians, April 24th is Armenian Genocide Day. And so this church wanted to know a little bit more about the genocide. They called me, and so I dutifully drove out 50, 60 miles to Merton, Wisconsin, wherever that is. I got there, and I did my typical presentation. First I did a section on history about the genocide, stopped for questions. And then, of course, I went to the spiritual of it all. And for the spiritual, I used 4 stories of some old Hartford, Connecticut women who as little girls had gone through the genocide. And they would tell me these horrific, terrible, heart-wrenching, sad stories about what they went through and what their families went through. And yet, they were the kindest, sweetest, the saintliest women you could run into. There was no talk from them about hating Turks. I thought to myself, wow. And I presented this to the Bible study too. If they could do it, how can we also overcome hate of anybody? But that was still pretty didactic there. Then I showed them, they each had a picture of the icon of the martyrs of the 1915 genocide. And I pointed out to them that, and this is when it started to happen to me, I became overwhelmed. I said, all of the saints are beckoning to us. They're calling to us. Come on, you can be better. You can be saints too. And I looked at it, and I looked at all of their faces, looking at me, saying, Yeprem, come on closer. You can be a saint too. You don't have to hate the Turks anymore. And that was the moment. It was early in the afternoon, May 11, 2016, in Merton, Wisconsin. And so now I have to be joyful about the reward that our Christian martyrs received. I have to be joyful about that. They're looking at me saying, it's okay now, Yeprem. You don't have to hate those Turks anymore. Rather be joyful for our reward. And so, hey, I still remember the genocide, of course. And maybe I'm still angry about it, but the overwhelming feeling is joy and happiness for our martyrs. And so I conclude with Hebrews chapter 12, just verse 1. Therefore, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, and aren't we? Let us throw off everything that hinders, like hating the Turks, everything that hinders and the sin that easily entangles us. Let us run with perseverance the race marked out before us. So friends, that's my witness. That's my Christian witness. If you want to respond to that, let me know. God bless you.